Here I am. I'm Amy in New Jersey, and it's November 4th. So, welcome. This is my first introductory YouTube video. I want to tell you about myself, what I'm here for, and all that good stuff. So, first of all, um, I started a blog back many years ago, about 2009, called Amy Goes a Roving. So, see, I'm a music teacher, and I was teaching music for several years, and I decided to go off on an adventure for a little while to get a master's degree in ethnomusicology. And I did that uh, by going to Ireland. I thought, you know what, if I want to get this master's degree in such an awesome subject and dedicate myself full time to this, why not go somewhere interesting and different? So I decided that Ireland was the place for me, and it certainly was, definitely. I started this blog because I was inspired by a lot of the travel blogs I had been reading. I had my own travel blog, but I wanted to start something different where I would offer some maybe advice to people, or just talk about the things that I was up to. Um, and maybe it could help other people, or maybe it just gives me an opportunity to talk about all the interesting things that I was doing. So, so I would talk about leaving the metropolitan New York area and um, all the things I would miss, all the things that, like, I had a top 10 list of all my favorite things in the metropolitan area. Of course, this is unique from my perspective because I'm interested in a lot of different things. Um, and then I was talking about travel. When I was in Ireland, I didn't get a lot of time to blog at all. There was a time I did blog later on. It was after, a little bit after my trip down to Italy to visit my grandparents' cousins in the Isle of Capri, and I sat and I wrote I don't know, a haiku to pizza and a poem to Italian restaurants, like my ode to Italian restaurants, and compare the scent of basil and whatever to Holy Communion. It's almost like sacred incense, right? Yeah, that's how it was for me, right? Food was like a spiritual experience. It was a spiritual experience, right? That's where people come together to form community around food. You can't really find community without there being food somewhere in some capacity, right? So um, that was one of the last blog entries I had. I had some other blog entries where I was talking more academically about music, some things that um, would interest me, like comparing Jay-Z to Frank Sinatra. That was one of my blog posts. It seemed a little bit random, but you know what? I have a lot of different interests, and that's what I cover in the blog. So I was covering travel, music, some art, and things like that, ethnomusicology, some of my music academic research topics, and things like that. But since I've been back, I went from August in 2009, came back in September 2010. Um, I had put some weight on since I came back home to New Jersey after being in Ireland. Um, and so 2012 was my year to lose the weight. So since January, I have lost 65 pounds. Um, it's just, it's great. Uh, it feels good to lose it all, but um, it has been a big journey for me because, say, December 2011, I was feeling very toxic. I developed a lot of skin kind of sensitivities to things, sensitivities to even alcohol. I could only drink one drink and I would throw up, stuff like that. Um, so through the year, back in January, I moved in had a new roommate. Her name is Ajnira, and her website is www.ajnira.com. AJNIRA.com. So she is a nutritionist as well as a trained chef, and she has many other talents. And she's been trained in a lot of different things, but that is her passion. And when I first came to live with her, I brought with me all the things, my healthy diet stuff, right? I got all my organic produce, but also would fill the entire shelf in the fridge with dairy products. So my mozzarella cheese, my feta, brie. I had this thing for wine and cheese, but again, I couldn't drink wine anymore. So, and cheese, well, technically I'm lactose intolerant, but hey, cheese is awesome. Like, it's worth it, right? It's worth it to feel that bit of sick, when you eat cheese, because cheese is awesome. But anyway, she really started showing me all sorts of YouTube videos about how awful the dairy industry is, the meat industry, not just the industry, what they do, what they put in the products, also what's in, say, cheese. It has casein in it, which they have studies that show links between casein and cancer. And casein is it's almost like an opiate in your brain. And that's why people love their cheese, because it sets off these awesome chemical reactions in your brain, right? So eventually I started trying different things. I took my regular milk, and when I was finished with that, I would go and try some almond milk. I had almond milk in there, and I would get rid of all my cheese. I got vegan cheese after a while, but don't have so much of that around anymore. I decided, yes, to adopt a more plant-based approach. In February, I was on a trip where I decided that I would just eat all plant-based stuff. No dairy, no meat, and just see how it went. See how it went. And I also started reading The Kind Diet by Alicia Silverstone. That was kind of a nice gateway to flirt with the idea of having a more plant-based diet. So, and I did it. I was on that trip where there was a dining hall, and I just ate all that produce and steamed vegetables and all that great stuff. So it was good. March, I went back to Ireland actually it was April. I went back for a little trip back to Ireland. I tried my best to keep that vegan lifestyle. It was not easy. But around that time, I was developing more skin irritations, known as candida. And I had been treated before by doctors with those corticosteroid creams. But what would happen is the skin irritations would come back, of course, months later, and it would be more annoying than the previous time, of course. So, my housemate told me about candida, and she said, really, it's about what I'm eating. I can't just cure it by putting a lotion on it. It's a Band-Aid approach. I'd have to go into my diet and really change things. I was investing in some probiotics as well, but I, little by little, started to understand more about an anti-candida diet, and I decided I would take out all the refined carbs, no more sugar, no raw sugar, cane sugar, whatever else, no maple syrup or honey or that. I did have agave, and I heard now agave is almost like high fructose corn syrup, but that's what I've heard, and I decided to eliminate that too. Seems to help. I have stevia now, or I just sweeten stuff with dates or other fruit. So, candida, not pretty, not fun. just under my arms, but really annoying. And many of you out there who might be watching this might be going through something similar. So I hope this video kind of reaches you and gives you some hope that you can kind of get